Hey guys, Bryson with Trick Tools here, and I'm going to give you guys a rundown on the number 20 Roper Whitney punch. So this punch is rated at 20 tons of pressure, which is an incredible amount for such a small package. And what helps it do that is the rotational ball bearing style of action for the handle and the punch. So inside of the front part of the body here is it's all threaded, essentially is what it looks like, is threads, but inside of those threads are ball bearings, which gives this punch a really smooth action through its rotation. So as it rotates, it moves down, which then pushes the punch through the die and achieves the punching. So like I said, pretty small unit. There's not a whole lot to it. You get a 2 1/4 inch throat depth, so it's not really made for, being able to punch, really deep into a part, working within the edge of something or on some angle iron. So there is a slightly different version of this machine. Visually looks mostly the same. They just notch out the front, and that is called the number 20 CTL punch. So it's notched a little bit here in the front, uses slightly smaller tooling. So this regular number 20 punch has punch and dies available from 1/8 up to 13/16 in hole size. So that's a pretty good size for such a small punch. The 20 CTL punch goes from 1/8 inch up to 9/16 on that punch size. And it allows you, like I said, it's notched here on the bottom edge and in a little bit closer. It allows you to get real up close to the inner webbing of angle iron and that sort of thing. So again, 20 tons of punching power, which is pretty awesome. So look at the tonnage charts that we have available to be able to see, what material you're working with compared to, what the tonnage rating is for a certain size hole and that sort of thing, to see if this punch will work for you. So the punch comes as it is. It doesn't come with a handle, and the reason for that is this handle is 42 inches long. So you put a heavy little cast iron machine like this in a box with a really long handle, and your shipping charges go way up. It's cheaper to ship them separately as an option, but it also gives you the option to be able to supply your own handle. So this is 3/4 inch round pipe. Nothing too special about it other than this is painted. You get a little rubber grip on here, but if you want to supply your own, it's 3/4 inch round pipe. So and then working with that handle, there's another accessory that's going to make this even easier to use. So with this, you have to go full rotations in order to get the punch to move down. But if you swap out the top mount, handle mount here for their optional ratcheting arm, this gives you the option to be able to just stand there without having to rotate this all the way around the machine. Especially if you got a big long handle on there, you can just rotate this using the ratchet style. So to show you how to swap that out, there's just a bolt right here on the top. So you'll back this, and this just is a 1/2 inch bolt. I guess a 1/2 inch bolt head. So back this off of here, and then you pull the bolt and washer off. Then this comes right off. There's a little hex machined into here. You got the hex on the top, so that's going to drop this on, and we can get that lined up. And then you have a sleeve to help support it and be able to hold it down, and then you can drop the bolt back in and thread it in. Now the ratchet has the ability to ratchet in both directions. That way, obviously it wouldn't make sense if it ratcheted only one direction. So you get that on there, and you can still go full rotations, but then if you want to, there's the knob on the top where you can switch it to go left or right, and you can hear the ratcheting there, and be able to do that work in a tight area using your ratchet mechanism. So without this machine being bolted down or whatever, you don't hear it as much, but there's your ratcheting action, and pretty nice upgrade to this machine, really, being able to have that on there. So you don't have a big 42-inch long handle, you know, hanging out that you're trying to work with all the time, or you don't have that huge swing to have a big wide open area to be able to operate it. So good idea with the ratchet option there. And putting the handle in is easy. You just have the set screw on the top, and this works on both of them. And then you'd slide your handle in, and then, you know, put your set screw, or tighten up your set screw, and you're ready to work. So the tooling for this, pretty easy to go in and out. You have a set screw on the side, and that allows the bottom die to come out. There's the way the upper die goes in, you have a threaded nut here that threads up into the collar to hold the die in place. So you unthread that, the punch drops out, and then put your new punch in, thread that nut up in place, and you're ready to rock. So check out the number 20 punch on our website, Trick-Tools.com. Also the number 20 CTL punch. A little bit different overall hole size capabilities, but the same tonnage on both machines. So check them out, see which one's right for you. If you have any further questions, give us a call. We'll get those answered for you. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.